APC Chieftain calls on Obasanjo, IBB to rescue Nigeria, says Abacha was more accessible than Tinubu. Salihu Mohammed Lukman, the former national vice chairman, northwest of the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, has urged former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Ibrahim Babangida, along with the retired General Aliyu Gusau, to devise tactics that could unseat the All Progressive Congress for power in 2027. He expressed that Nigerians that are currently grappling with existential crisis due to the nation's democracy being in the intensive care unit ICU. Lukman, in a statement issued Tuesday in Abuja, was reacting to media reports of Sunday's meeting of the trio in Minna, Niger State. Recalling the event of August 13, 2024, when the National Council of State convened and endorsed President Bola Tinubu, Lukman remarked on the notable accents of Obasanjo and Babangida. He pondered whether the recent gathering of Minna indicates a form of dissent against the vote of confidence bestowed upon Tinubu on August 13. He said although Obasanjo and Babangida's intervention in the polity may have in one way or the other contributed to getting Nigeria to its current messy situation, they owe it to a duty to Nigerians to bring back the country from ICU. He said, for instance, the political practices that are responsible for the erosion of political competition in political parties in Nigeria could be traceable to the tenure of former President Obasanjo. The Policy of Structural Adjustment Program, SAP, under former military President Babangida could have been the source of inspiration to President Asiwaju Tinubu's impulsive and unplanned policies. Although, to be fair to former military President Babangida, to use Chidi Amonta's words, he balanced compassion and hard policy choices. To the extent of contributing to get Nigeria to the current messy situation, these leaders owe a responsibility to the nation to take it out of the ICU. Getting Nigerian democracy out of ICU is a function of ability to revive, restore, and strengthen democratic structures in the country, which is dependent on the ability to create at least a functional political party that would allow for political competition within its structures and by extension in the country. This should not just be about identifying and promoting a candidate who will emerge as a candidate in any of the registered parties. Once the approach is limited to producing a candidate, the potential of falling in a legal booby trap imposed by the manipulative activities of President Asiwaju Tinubu and the All Progressive Congress is high. Part of the legal booby trap is that the potential candidates may be produced by a leadership faction of the political party, which will throw the party and the candidate in court cases that will undermine electoral viability. The other challenge is that producing a candidate may not guarantee corresponding commitment by elected leaders to honor their campaigns, promises, and be held accountable to Nigerians. For elected leaders to come with corresponding commitment to honor campaign promises and be accountable to Nigerians require the existence of a strong political party whose organs will meet as prescribed by the party's constitution. Above all, the profile of the leadership of the party should be at the minimum equivalent to the elected leadership of a country. A situation whereby party leadership are below the profile of elected leaders is injurious to Nigerian democracy and will retain it in the ICU. Therefore, its former President Obasanjo, former military president Babangida, and former head of state Abdul Salam and retired General Gusau are truly committed to rescuing Nigeria democracy and get it out of ICU. They should facilitate a deeper engagement of opposition political parties in the country, he stated. Lukman also drew a comparison from President Tinubu and the late head of service, General Sani Abacha, declaring that the latter was even more accessible. More than any time in the history of Nigeria, Nigerian citizens are impoverished and on an alarming scale. Since May 29, 2023, when President Asiwaju took over, it has been a dull crowd slide for Nigerians, being Being a democratic government, the expectation would have been that President Tinubu would be more accessible, and as he is providing to be the most inaccessible leader of Nigeria, even late accessible. All previous military, okay, all previous military governments are turning out to be much more open to consultation and receptive to recommendation of President Asiwaju Tinubu. As President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Tinubu is showing us his worst side. Some of the key projects of the last government have been abandoned. A good example is Kaduna to Abuja Road, which is becoming a death trap. But wonder, as President of the Federal Republic, Asiwaju Tinubu is showing his worst side. Some of the key projects of the last government have been abandoned. A good example is Kaduna to Abuja Road, which is booming clean and a death trap, but without any budgetary provision. A new project more than 15 trillion naira in Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway started. Meanwhile, public investment towards addressing the challenges of insecurity is best policies. Is best business as usual, and the crisis of insecurity is reduced to ceremonial show of shame and the public lamentation by leaders. He stated. Then they call OBJ and IBB. We don't come out. But they come rescue him. This thing where you do, make sense, yeah. Make you call my God. Are they there for blind? Why not go and meet them so that you can access Abacha looted funds? Then you can use it to save the economy. What is the meaning of rescue, my dear Taya? Which political party those leaders mentioned get registered? Because the question of rescuing the country now lies with democratic process and not the rule of God. Nobody's talking about rule of God here. Lukman argument is self-serving. He should bear a chunk of the blames. He brought Tinubu to power rather. Now crying. Whoa, perhaps because he wasn't brought on board, given the juicy appointment, he's now crying. All policies in APC especially are satanic, heartless and greedy. His analysis and comparison, dabbling into SAP, IMF, spanning nearly 40 years is necessary to say the least, that brought us to this time, that era, the global eco forces that influences changes, perhaps differs from the moment, and IBB always look out for the best brain to watch. Really? The best brains, IBB. Maybe another person, IBB. How about? Okay, alright, on this note, we have come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.